Over the past few months, Sulek has become a big name in the fitness industry, and it looks like his success has rubbed off on his little brother Sulek, and now he's created a YouTube channel. And he seems to be doing very similar content to his older brother. And while it's great to see Marcos pursue content creation and work out, I'm concerned he'll follow Saul's footsteps that won't lead him to a healthier lifestyle. My name is Rios. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Exercise Science, and because I'm here to make fitness great again, I'll be trying to save Sulek. In this video, I'll be going over aspects of Saul's training that Sulek should avoid. The first thing is that Marcos could see Saul's physique and aspire to have it, even though this is a terrible physique goal and it's not aesthetic. Saul's dedication to his physique and building as much muscle as possible can be admired. But we all know having a physique like this is not truly aesthetic and it won't change your life. Unless Marcos wants to pull some guys, you shouldn't try and build a gross bodybuilder physique.
Bodybuilding is a beauty pageant where dudes try their best to put on muscle so other dudes can say, you're the best looking dude. It's gay. It's super gay.
All the ladies love an aesthetic athlete physique.
I think the lean/athletic look on a man is way sexier than the bodybuilder type.
Instead of trying to pursue his brother's physique, Marcos should try and build an aesthetic athlete physique like Leon Edwards. Doing this will not only lead to Marcos living a healthier lifestyle, but he will achieve a truly aesthetic physique that both men and women respect. The second thing that Marcos should avoid is steroid use. Sulek takes a load of gear, and I'm afraid Sulek will follow in his footsteps. Marcos might see his brother Saul making gains in strength and muscle way faster than him, and then convert to the dark side. I want Marcos to know he can achieve so much naturally and be healthier in the process. And most likely, taking steroids will lead to a less aesthetic physique and possible side effects such as acne and aging like crazy. I mean, Christian Guzman, who's been accused of steroid use, looks like he's 50 years old at 30. The Low T twins look so much older since they've been taking Trent for a long time.
I mean, I was handsome as fuck before I hopped on steroids. I gained 9 years of age in less than a year.
Because they started off looking like fresh-faced 20-year-olds, and now they look like 40-year-old construction workers. Overall, Marcos should avoid PED usage, as not only will it likely not build an aesthetic physique, but there will be many side effects that will affect other areas of his life. When it comes to being the most aesthetic version of yourself, it's important to build an aesthetic physique, but also make sure your face looks good too. That's why I'm excited to have Tiege Hanley as the sponsor of today's video. They help men start and maintain a skincare routine by simplifying the entire process. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system that comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every product comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Their products have made my skin look and feel better than ever. But you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 7,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers all around the world. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, and free US shipping. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the link in the description, you'll get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. The next thing Sulek needs to avoid is Sulek's terrible diet. Sulek is notorious for his diet. This has to be the most criticized portion of his content. While it's great to see Saul's dedication to hitting his macros, Sulek shouldn't copy this. Sulek's diet revolves around highly processed and sugary food, such as donuts and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And not gonna lie, Cinnamon Toast Crunch hits hard, but this diet doesn't lead to better health, optimal hormone levels, and improved performance at the gym. Saul can get away with this terrible diet because he's blasting steroids, but if a typical natty lifter eats like this, they're gonna feel like absolute crap. I'm not saying Marcos needs to be eating healthy 24/7. Let's be honest, eating healthy all the time would freaking suck. I would say the best thing for Marcos to do is do about 80% clean eating. This will allow him to eat a healthy diet, but also have room for foods he enjoys. I would advise Marcos to prioritize non-processed foods that he enjoys. A lot of people have a false idea that diets are supposed to be miserable and you're supposed to eat foods that taste like crap. Diets are supposed to be enjoyable so that you can maintain them long term. So Marcos should find some healthy foods he enjoys and spam those. The next thing Marcos should avoid is training without a plan. It seems like Sulek goes into the gym without a game plan and just randomly picks exercises and throws the weights around. This is kind of like a soccer manager picking 11 players to play soccer and then just saying, hey, go out there and play soccer. It's stupid and it makes no sense. A good coach will have a formation and specific instructions for each player. And this concept applies to the gym as well. Marcos should sit down down and created a workout plan that he uses for about 4 to 6 weeks. This will allow him to progressively overload on exercises and improve, and prevent him from adapting to his workout and hitting plateaus. Imagine doing a workout routine for 3 months straight. Do you think your body won't adapt to the workout that you're doing? For example, if you do a bench press for 10 to 12 reps, then you do an incline bench press for 6 to 8 reps, then you do an isolation chest fly for 12 to 15 reps, do you not think that if you do that for 3 months, you won't adapt to it? I mean, your body's gonna be like, oh, I know Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna start off with a bench press, then move to the incline bench press, then do the chest fly. Your body gets used to it. So it's important to make sure you're changing your workouts, but also allowing enough time to progressively overload and improve on your exercises. This can be kind of complicated for people, but luckily for you, I do this in my 90-day aesthetic body blueprint, which you can check out in the description. This blueprint takes out all the guesswork for getting an aesthetic, athletic physique. So check it out if you're interested. The next thing Marcos needs to avoid is heavy machine usage. I'm not gonna lie, Saul's machine usage is not as bad as stupid optimal bodybuilders, but he does seem to prioritize them in his routine. If you use a machine every once in a while, you won't go to jail.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up. Now get out.
But prioritizing machines in your training routine is freaking dumb. Firstly, there are a few recent research studies that show no significant difference between free weights and machines in terms of muscle growth, and free weights are far better for athletic performance. Machines don't transfer to sports anywhere near as well as free weights. I go far more in depth in my free weights versus machines video, so check that out after this video. Machines take away a large stability and core demand, which significantly decreases the functionality of the exercise and won't lead to a healthier joint. Due to Marcos's golf ambitions, he should prioritize free weights so that his exercises in the gym can transfer onto the golf course. I know golf isn't a physical sport, but doing athletic movements in the gym will definitely transfer over. And last time I checked, golf players don't look like gross bodybuilders. The next thing Marcos should avoid from Sulek's training methods is his non-existent form. Sulek essentially just throws the weights around, but it looks like Marcos is doing it too. I mean, the eccentric portion of the movement is non-existent for both of them. The eccentric portion of the movement is so important for muscle growth, yet both of these Sulek hermanos literally ignore it. This is why you don't see bodybuilders spamming Olympic lifts, because there's no eccentric portion of the movement. It's not very good for muscle growth. The common argument for Olympic lifts is, oh, these Olympic lifters, they're so huge, they're so muscular. It's like, bro, have you ever heard of PED usage? Anyways, back to eccentric contractions. I like to do a 2x2 or a 4x2 tempo. So you should do 2 seconds down and 2 seconds up, or 4 seconds down and 2 seconds up. If Marcos does this, this will lead to adequate eccentric loading. Controlling the eccentric will dramatically decrease the amount of weight he uses, but this will decrease the chance of injury, improve joint health, and improve muscle growth. Another thing Sulek does is lengthen partials, which is pretty good. A lot of recent studies back up this method as an adequate way to build muscle, but it's not on purpose. Saul's some juiced up kid with lots of energy, so he just goes to the gym and throws around the weights. It's so crazy how guys like Dr. Marlin and Jeff Nipples glaze this guy for this method and act like he's some sort of scientist that actually read the studies and was like, oh man, long length partials are good, I'm gonna add them to my routine. Sulek didn't do this. He's just throwing the weights around. I mean, it's so sad that they do this. Imagine glazing a guy that hard. Couldn't be me. The next thing Marcos Sulek needs to avoid from Sulek's training is wearing lifting straps for back day. Looks like Sulek took a page from the Weightlifting for Idiots book, aka Optimal Bodybuilding book. And unfortunately, Marcos is learning from Saul and is doing it too. Two more victims of the fitness matrix. It'd be different if the Sulek hermanos were using lifting straps for deadlifts, but they're using them for soft back machines that have very little grip demand. Bodybuilders act like your forearms and your grip are an incompetent idiot when they're actually capable of so much. Bodybuilders completely neglect grip, even though it's great for building lean aesthetic forearms and it's great for sports. I mean, baseball players have massive forearms just from gripping the bat all the time. When it comes to sports, Marcos isn't wearing lifting straps while he's playing golf, so he shouldn't be wearing lifting straps in the gym. Taking away the lifting straps will lead to Marcos developing great grip strength and building an aesthetic back. The next thing Marcos Sulek needs to avoid from Sulek's training is a lack of foundational exercises. First, I'll be starting off with back exercises. Sulek's back day consists of loads of stupid machines. I swear, out of the videos that I've seen, I've never seen Saul do a free weight row or pull-up variation. These have to be the best back exercises that work your back, grip, and core. I have no idea why Saul is not doing these exercises, and Marcos needs to incorporate them into his routine. These free weight back variations will lead to an aesthetic back and a healthier, more capable physique. It's like, why not build muscle that will also perform? It's crazy how bodybuilders choose to build muscle that doesn't even do anything. Now onto the legs, and I'll be starting with Saul's hamstring exercises. The dude pretty much only does machine leg curls. It makes absolutely no sense to prioritize machine leg curl variations in your routine. And again, it looks like Marcos is learning from his brother. Marcos should prioritize hinge movements to hit his hamstrings. Doing hinge movements like the RDL are so important to prioritize in your routine, as it allows the glutes and the hamstrings to learn how to work together. It's a closed chain leg exercise, which is far more realistic, and for these reasons transfers outside the gym way better than stupid leg curl machines, and they build aesthetic hamstrings. If Marcos wants to train knee flexion, it should be an accessory movement and shouldn't be prioritized in his training routine. Plus, Nora curls are a far better option to train knee flexion. Now on to Saul's quad exercises. Saul pretty much never does barbell squats, and when he does a super narrow stance, and he prioritizes the leg press, leg extensions, and a Smith machine squat. When it comes to Saul's narrow stance squat, I'm never a fan of these extreme foot positions. I would advise Marcos to squat in an athletic position that's about shoulder width apart. Now onto the leg extensions. Leg extensions are fucking stupid. Leg extensions are stupid because they're an open chain leg exercise that's not very realistic, and it doesn't involve the core. It's like, when are you ever sitting on your ass extending your legs against resistance? For these reasons, Marcos should heavily de-emphasize the leg extension in his training routine. Now into the leg press, and just like the leg extension, the leg press fucking sucks because you're sitting on your ass, generated force, and it's an open chain leg exercise. Marcos should prioritize free weight squat variations in his training routine, as not only do you build aesthetic legs, but it also transfers outside the gym far better than a Smith machine squat, due to the stability and balance demands of the exercise. Sulek also doesn't do very many unilateral leg movements in his routine. I personally have never seen Sulek do a unilateral leg exercise, but I don't watch his content frequently, so maybe he has. Marcos Sulek should add unilateral leg exercises to his training routine, as most activities of daily living and sports skills are done on one leg. Overall, Marcos should prioritize closed chain compound leg exercises and incorporate unilateral leg work so he can build not only aesthetic legs, but athletic legs as well. Now into Saul's chest training, and he actually does a good amount of free weight bench press, but he only does incline bench press. I understand that the upper chest is hard to develop, and increased emphasis will lead to a full, more balanced aesthetic chest, but this doesn't mean you should completely ignore a flat bench press. Marcos should incorporate incline and flat bench press variations in his routine, as this will allow him to hit the chest in different angles and lead to an aesthetic and athletic chest. Now into Saul's shoulder training, and I've never seen the dude do an overhead press. The overhead press has to be the king of all shoulder exercises, as it's a fantastic compound and athletic movement for the shoulders, and it hits the front delts and the lateral delts well, with a higher emphasis on the front delt. Marcos should frequently add an overhead press variation into his lifting routine as the primary front delt builder, as it's pretty silly to isolate the front delt, as it's heavily hit in a typical bodybuilding routine, such as in a bench press. Doing this will lead to fantastic overall shoulder development that will create an aesthetic shoulder with functional movements that will transfer outside the gym very well. Next thing Marcos Sulek should avoid from Saul Sulek's training routine is terrible ab training. I'm pretty sure Saul doesn't do ab exercises very often, but the ab exercises I've seen him do are only trunk flexion exercises. And there's nothing inherently wrong with dynamic ab exercises, but static exercises are far more functional. Think about it, when in real life are you doing a sit-up motion? While you rarely use your abs in a dynamic fashion, you pretty much always use them to stabilize. This includes any sort of lifting or even things like running. Static ab exercises become even more important for Saul, who heavily prioritizes machines which don't work the abs to stabilize, like in free weight compound movements. For this reason, Marcos needs to heavily prioritize static ab exercises, but the best thing he can do is add more foundational exercises to his routine, so he's hitting two birds with one stone. Hitting the muscle he's trying to hit, and working his abs in the most functional way. The next mistake Saul makes that Marcos needs to avoid is no rotation exercises. Marcos, you play golf. Why are you not doing rotation exercises? This is like a baseball player never doing any rotation exercises. The obliques are incredibly important to hit for complete ab development, especially because compound movements don't work rotation. There's a stupid misconception going around in the bodybuilding community that training your obliques will lead to a blocky, unaesthetic waist. This is such a stupid, irrational fear. It's like you don't accidentally get jacked. And the smallest waist in the world, Leon Edwards, competes in a sport with loads of rotation and even trains rotation as well, and he has the smallest waist I've ever seen. So that just debunks this stupid claim. Marcos would incorporate some rotational power exercises like medicine ball throws, rotational strength exercises like cable rotations, and anti-rotation movements like a Pavlov press to his routine for complete ab development and improved rotation for golf. And the last mistake that Sulek does that Marcos Sulek needs to avoid is he does bodybuilding. Bodybuilding leads to you building useless muscle that's not even aesthetic. So Marcos needs to switch bodybuilding to athletic bodybuilding. This will allow Marcos to build muscle that will translate well to golf, and it will allow him to build a truly aesthetic physique. And if you're looking to build an aesthetic and capable physique, remember to check out the 90-day aesthetic body blueprint in the description. Hopefully Marcos Sulek can see this video so he can escape the fitness matrix and truly change his life. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more base fitness content and advice to escape the fitness matrix.